I'm gonna tell all your friends about me. What are you? I'm Batman.
Okay, good morning guys. My name's James Clark. As you know, this is my Film Fanatic blog, and it's very early on Saturday. It's actually 5 to 7 Saturday morning, and I'm about to embark on a Bat-a-thon. Yes, it's I'm not interested in the creatures, the bats, but I'm going to be watching the Batman films, the theatrical films. So I'm starting back with the 1966 film with Adam West and Burt Ward. Very comic, nice start to the Bat-a-thon. I lead then into Tim Burton's two Batman films, much darker, Batman and Batman Returns. Then we have a lighter touch with Joel Schumacher's two entries in the series, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. And then I'm going to end the Bat-a-thon today with Batman Begins, The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. So it's quite a big challenge today. It's 8 films. I haven't watched 8 films in a row in a day since for about 6 years. The last time I did it, actually, I did a James Bond marathon with my uni mate Sean, and I'm sure he will agree with me that that was quite a difficult experience, but it was great fun. This time I'm actually doing this alone, so it could be even harder to stay awake today. It's very early for me on a Saturday morning because I get up so early during the week anyway, Monday to Friday, so don't know what's possessed me to start at 7 o'clock. I think it's because I can get it all done before midnight tonight, so that's the plan. So I'm going to be taking you through all of these films. After each one, as the credits roll on each film, I'm going to be sort of summarising the film, what I think about each one, and hopefully there'll be some surprises along the way as well, because a lot of these films I haven't seen for a while. Particularly Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and actually The Dark Knight I haven't watched since last year, so it'll be nice to watch some of those again, to revisit some of them and give you my opinions on the Batman films. I have trawled through the internet, and I don't think anybody has done each of the films from 1966 to 2012 as a marathon. If they've done it in their own time, fine, but I don't think anybody's actually recorded it as a marathon in this way that I'm doing. So I saw one marathon that included Mask of the Phantasm, but went up to The Dark Knight, so obviously before The Dark Knight Rises came out. I'm not including any of those Batmans, the truly animated ones. I'm going for the theatrical films, so live action films from 1966 to 2012. So you know, it's 46 years of the Batman legacy. So I think we're going to have fun. I think I'm going to have fun today. So I'm going to be sharing my views with you on this video. So I'm going to be putting it all together, editing it, splicing it, and it's going to be interesting. So this is the first of, I hope, many film marathons on my Film Fanatic blog. So I am about to start. It is literally 2 minutes to 7 on Saturday morning. It's the 16th of March 2013. My name's James Clark. Welcome to the Bat-a-thon. Okay guys, it's 7 AM on Saturday morning. Yes, you've got a shot of my watch here. We are about to start the Batman-a-thon, the Bat-a-thon, taking us through until about midnight tonight, I think. So it is literally 7 o'clock. I've got to put in the first film, which is the first Batman movie. Okay, Batman the movie, Holy Special Edition. That's the first one we're going to watch. Okay, so we're about to press play on the first of the Batman films. Here's the menu: Bat scenes, Bat languages, Bat features. Here we go. It's going to start with Bat movie. So it's the very first film of Batman, back to 1966. I'm going to share my opinions with this throughout, and right at the end, see you in an hour and a half. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Batman fighting with a very clearly rubber shark. it doesn't get much more absurd than that. It gets worse than this in Batman and Robin for the fact that they aren't being deliberately camp. It's just camp for camp's sake. But this is quite clearly, you know, this is the animated days of Batman. But it's just, wow! It's you've got the Batcopter, you've got oceanic bat repellent spray. You've got the bat ladder that's actually got a label at the bottom identifying that it's the bat ladder, and you've got these amazing costumes for Batman and Robin, and this is 10 minutes into the first film. What a great way to start. Okay, so one movie down and just 7 to go. That's the first Batman film, The Living End. What can you say about that film from 1966? It's incredibly camp. The dialogue in places is shocking, but that is the point, I think. You know, it's the idea of it, and it's just one of those. It's just one of those films that you just kind of you look up to because it is so outrageous, and you just got moments in it that you just think, you know, how do they, why do they do it? Why do they do it in that way? But you know, it's that's how it goes. A great cast of characters actually in that. You've got the main villains all together. You've got the Joker. You've got what have you got? You've got the Catwoman, you have the Penguin, the Riddler. They're all together. So in some ways, it's a great little film to start actually. But obviously things are going to get much darker with Tim Burton's Batman reinvention in 1989. So that film is coming up in a couple of minutes. So my thoughts on the first Batman, I'm going to give it probably about a 6 out of 10, I think. It's fine. I mean, the plot gets better as the film goes on, but there's so many moments that you just think, how do they get away with that? Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Prime example of a scene that's just, you know, just hilarious, really. So if they were trying to go for that for the whole way, then it's, you know, it's a 10 out of 10 film. But generally for realism, I think, in Batman, it gets about a 6 out of 10 from me. Coming up next, we've got the first Tim Burton Batman film. I'm going to look forward to this one. This is Batman with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. Okay, it's just after 8:45 on Saturday morning, continuing with the Bat-a-thon, film number 2. I'm looking forward to this one. Haven't seen it for ages, in fact. It's Tim Burton's first Batman film. This is 23 years after the film we've just seen, and bringing Batman right up to date, making it nice and dark, apart from the fact that Jack Nicholson practically steals the show as the comic Joker. This is Tim Burton's Batman. So it's about 9:20 on Saturday morning. We're into the second film, Tim Burton's Batman. You can see it's a lot darker at the moment. This is a darker film. I think this is one of the best entrances for a villain that I can think of, particularly in a comic book film. But generally, I think the way that the Joker just walks casually along. Well, it's Jack Nicholson anyway. So, and he just becomes completely flamboyant now. It's just a very charismatic entrance for the villain, but you see the darkness in his eyes at times, and that's something that Jack Nicholson can do brilliantly with any character. So it's a great scene, I think. Okay, so it is 11:15 on Saturday morning, or almost, and we're 2 films down now out of 8 for this Bat-a-thon. You can see on the screen, a little bit dark, but the film is coming to an end. It's Tim Burton's first Batman film. So to kind of recap, yeah, Jack Nicholson is a brilliant actor anyway. He puts everything into his roles, and just as I remembered, he does really ham it up full style as the Joker in this film. It's very much about the Joker, but we do get to see a side of Batman that Tim Burton tried very hard to bring out. I think he does try to bring out that solitary side of Batman even more so in his next film, Batman Returns, which I'm really looking forward to watching. Generally, this film, yeah, it's very theatrical, but it's engaging. It's a good story, good actors. Michael Keaton's a very good Batman. Kim Basinger's Vicky Vale. It's a nice little relationship between the two of them. The idea of Vicky finding out who Bruce really is a nice little like sort of Superman moment really as well, like with Clark Kent, Superman with Lois Lane. And of course it's no coincidence that Lois Lane, double L name, same with Vicky Vale, VV. It's something that Bob Kane decided to do with his characters for the comic books, writer of both Superman and Batman. So a great way to start, I think, the proper live-action Batman films, but the next film is even better than this. I'm looking forward to watching that in a couple of minutes. Batman Returns. I give the first Tim Burton film, I think, it's a solid film. I think I'd give it about a 7 out of 10. Batman Returns coming up. Okay, so now for anybody who knows me very well, I always applaud this opening sequence from Tim Burton's follow-up to his first Batman film, from Batman Returns. It looks even more stunning in Blu-ray as well, but one of the big things about Tim Burton's films in particular, one of the standout elements, is Danny Elfman's scores. They are extraordinary, and this is one of his best. It really is. Very fairy tale-like theme for the innocence of the Penguin, the fact that his parents are now dropping him down into the sewers. Basically, they know that he is deformed. There's something very wrong with him, and the baby's cries as well as it's going down into the Gotham sewers is really sad, actually. It's quite a touching moment, but it's the music for me that does it in this opening sequence. I'm going to enjoy this film. This is we're almost 4 hours into the Bat-a-thon now. This is film number 3, Batman Returns. Okay, it's about 10 to 1 here on Saturday afternoon, and we are 3 movies down now in the Bat-a-thon. Just 5 to go. Onto the Joel Schumacher Batman films next. More flamboyance with Batman Forever. Nice end there to what I think so far is my favourite Batman film, Batman Returns. There's just so much style to it. It's dark, it's gothic, fantastic cast, the best cast that they've had, I think, in a Batman film. And that's quite a big thing for me to say, considering, you know, you've got people like Heath Ledger, Cillian Murphy, Christian Bale, Michael Caine now, but there's some terrific people in this film. We've got Danny DeVito playing the Penguin superbly. Michelle Pfeiffer, the best Catwoman you could possibly imagine. Just all thoughts of Halle Berry as Catwoman pushed aside. Can't really imagine anybody else playing that role now. Same with the Penguin. And Christopher Walken, professional as always, as the just very sleazy Max Schreck in that one. Nice ending to the film as well. A nice play on how Burton's first Batman film ended with Batman standing with the bat signal. Now in this one, we've got that tease at the end that Catwoman's actually still alive, and she's standing at the top of the building with the bat signal behind her. It's a nice ending to the film. I think hands down one of the best things about this Batman film in particular is Danny Elfman's score. It's haunting, it's beautiful in places as well. It just works, it complements the film brilliantly, I think. So overall, Batman Returns gets about a 9, I think, from me, a 9 out of 10. It's really good. It's the kind of film that I associate with Batman. And I just love it from seeing it as a child. I remember being very creeped out by it the first time I saw it, but that's probably because I was only about 9 or 10 the first time I saw the film. So yeah, I think that's kind of understandable. Nice and dark and gothic. From that we go on to go back to the flamboyance, although it's not quite as bad yet. The first and the better of the two Joel Schumacher films is coming up in a couple of minutes. It's 5-1 now on Saturday afternoon. We've got the fourth Batman film in the Bat-a-thon. Almost halfway through. Batman Forever is coming up. Okay, hope you're ready then. We're on to the 1995 film, the first of two Batman films directed by Joel Schumacher. Let's play Batman Forever. Okay, and we've come to the end of Batman Forever now, so the fourth film is out of the way. Just another 4 to go. Val Kilmer actually not too bad at Batman, actually. You see, credit to Joel Schumacher, he tried to give Batman a bit more of a story in this one, which is actually quite nice to see. It's flamboyant, but it's actually quite an entertaining Batman film. It's one of those ones I remember watching a lot when I was young, thinking, yeah, that's a nice way to sort of pass a couple of hours. And I kind of feel the same now after having watched it again. Is it as good as the Tim Burton films? Not really. It's certainly not as good as Batman Returns. I think it's more entertaining of most of the films that we've seen so far. It's more entertaining than Tim Burton's first Batman film, for example. But no, it's not quite as good as Batman Returns for me. I give Batman Forever about, I don't know, a 7, I think, a 7 out of 10. So about the same score as I gave for Tim Burton's first Batman. It's better than most people think, this one. There is some quite worrying dialogue in the film, particularly they had to get Robin in there, of course, and Robin was fine until even the Robin suit was fine. It was actually quite cool until he had to say holy metal Batman or something towards the end of this film, and you just think, oh no, they're slipping back into that territory again. So of course we know with hindsight that that's what they have done. They slipped into dangerous waters with the next film. But again, the music's not too bad here. Elliot Goldenthal is the composer for the two Joel Schumacher Batman films. But it's the songs, really, this one here on for the end titles, massive back in 1995 when it was released. U2, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, and even better, Seal's Kiss from a Rose as well. So the soundtracks generally to the Batman films are pretty good, in my opinion. But it's not really what you watch it for. You watch it to see if it's a good film, and in a lot of ways it is. I mean, if this film didn't have Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones bulking it up, it wouldn't be as good as it is, actually. It wouldn't be as entertaining. But the Riddler and Two-Face, good foes for Batman. Yeah, it's a good film. Unfortunately, we have got Batman and Robin coming up. It is now just after 10 to 3 on Saturday afternoon. Been going strong for nearly 8 hours now, and we're 4 films down. Just 4 to go. Batman and Robin, that cursed film, coming up. Okay, now for the film that Joel Schumacher himself has apologised for. The film that almost wrecked the Batman franchise. Well, did back in 1997. Despite being a big box office hit, it's not a great film. This is Batman and Robin, 5 to 3 on Saturday afternoon.
cage.
Okay, I just wanted to showcase that because that basically sums up the awful direction the Batman series went in with this film, Batman and Robin. It's such a shame because Joel Schumacher's career was totally tarnished by this film. Batman Forever is far from a masterpiece, but at least it was entertaining. I literally just zoned out through that film, and it just reminded me of how bad it was. The dialogue is just awful, awful. Akiva Goldsman, I think, was the screenwriter, and he just, honestly, it's awful, so bad. I have no idea why it did so well. It's like a big toy commercial, that film. Anyway, you can probably guess that I don't really like Batman and Robin very much. But the strangest thing is, I remember being 10 years old, going to the cinema to see it, and adoring it. I loved it. The 10-year-old of me loved it. Now I'm 25, nearly 26, I've grown to realise just how corny and dreadful it is. So thankfully we are moving into Christopher Nolan territory, revitalisation of Batman, 8 years on from this mess, with Batman Begins. It's coming up, the film from 2005, starting Christopher Nolan's trilogy. We're getting towards the end of the Bat-a-thon, and it's nearly 5 to 5. We've been going for nearly 10 hours now. It's going good so far, only 7 hours to go. Okay, so it is 5 o'clock on the dot. It's Saturday evening. It is... Well, yeah, it is 5 o'clock. And we are now on the 6th of 8 films. We've got Blu-rays for each of these, so they're going to look even better, and we're getting into the evening now. Best time to watch these Christopher Nolan films, I think. Best time of the day. Great atmosphere with these. Dark films, and a new version of Batman. After George Clooney tried and failed with Batman and Robin, just like everything else seemed to fail in that film, we now have Christian Bale, much harder, rougher Batman, and the legend is reborn once again.
Thank you. And you'll never have to.
So we come to the end of Christopher Nolan's first film in his Batman trilogy, Batman Begins, and the title comes up at the end just to reaffirm that Batman's back, and what a great film to start it off. I always thought, because everybody hypes up The Dark Knight and to some extent the end of the trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises, I kind of got lost in the idea that actually Batman Begins isn't very good. And it's totally wrong. I think it's a great film, actually. Really establishes Batman once again. It makes things darker again, taking it back to Tim Burton, but not in the gothic sense of Tim Burton. This is a more realistic Batman for the 21st century. So it's it's a fascinating film, actually, a fascinating start to the trilogy. Great to see a Liam Neeson playing a real villain once again. He only gets a chance to do that in a very small number of films that he's in, so it's very nice to see him as the villain of the piece. And this is very much about Batman, of course. Christian Bale, name appearing there, gives a terrific performance as Batman, and this is, of course, before his voice goes all gruff and serious like this. For playing Batman, so it's more realistic here. No problems with Katie Holmes either. A nice performance as Rachel. You can see why somebody like Bale's Bruce Wayne would be interested in somebody like her. You've got Morgan Freeman as well, Michael Caine, the supporting cast, who are fantastic as well in both of their roles. So. Batman Begins. Ooh, I don't know. I think it's, for me, it's probably on a par with Batman Returns. So an 8 or a 9, I think, out of 10 for this one. And I forgot to mention as well for Batman and Robin, I think I'm going to give that a 2 out of 10, possibly stretch to a 3. So at the moment that is definitely the worst one in my opinion, but I think most Bat fans would agree with me on that one. Okay, so it is 7:15 this Saturday evening. We are now 10 hours and 15 minutes into this Bat-a-thon and 2 more films left. Many would argue the 2 best films left. We've got The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises still to come. Okay, 7:20 Saturday night. We're on to the 7th of 8 films in the Bat-a-thon. Time for the epic Dark Knight.
So we'll hunt him. I guess he can take it. Because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight.
Okay, so The Dark Knight has just finished. It's 10:15 on Saturday evening. I'm not going to show you, but it's dark outside. It is dark now. I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning, so the last 15 hours almost with Batman, with the Dark Knight himself, and various different guises for Batman. It's currently Christian Bale as the Dark Knight. Now, of course, that is the epic film in the series so far, widely regarded as one of the best, as the best superhero film that there's ever been. I agree with that in many respects, and actually returning to the film, watching it again this evening, I do really have to applaud the cast, particularly Heath Ledger, the late Heath Ledger. It's such a brilliant performance as the Joker. Sometimes I never know exactly whether it deserves as much praise as he got. The fact that he won the Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars back in 2009 for this film. It was obviously a posthumous award as well due to his death in 2008. But yes, I think he does deserve the award. I think it's a terrific performance. The only other person I think who comes close to him in the film, although I have more respect now for Aaron Eckhart and his role as Harvey Two-Face, I think that's the emotional heart of the story. But I have a lot of respect for Gary Oldman. I think his character is extraordinary in the film as well. Goes on a real curve, and it is so much more epic than Batman Begins. I like the fact that Batman Begins is very simplistic, back to basics, not so much emphasis on villainy. It's more about Batman himself and the origins of Batman. This time they've got that out of the way, and Christopher Nolan had the opportunity to be a bit more creative with it. It's lovely here that's on the credits as well, in memory of Heath Ledger, one of our great friends. You can tell that everybody put as much as they could into this film. It is a little bit long. It could be a bit shorter than it is, but it is a triumph really in the Batman saga, and it's been one of the highlights actually, watching it again, of this Bat-a-thon. I had a feeling it might be. So we are at the final hurdle. The last film is the most recent in our Bat-a-thon. The Dark Knight Rises is coming up in a few minutes. And to coin a phrase from the Joker, and here we go. We're at the final hurdle. We're about to watch The Dark Knight Rises. It's the final film and the longest, incidentally, to end the marathon. Should be projected finish time just before 12:30, so I thought we were going to finish about midnight, so we're a little bit over, but I'm going to watch till the end now. This is the 8th film of 8, The Dark Knight Rises. well, that's about it. It's a bit of an emotional end, actually, to the Batman franchise. Well, the current end to it anyway. We'll see what happens in the future. Will there be another reboot? We don't know. But that is 46 years of the Batman on the big screen. What a lovely ending. Alfred gets his wish. Batman's alive and well. Or rather, Bruce is alive and well. And we have potentially Robin entering the Batcave as we hit black screen. Yeah, the Dark Knight rises. Well, that is it. That is the Bat-a-thon. And it's come to a conclusion. It's now exactly 12:30 on a Sunday morning. We've been going strong since 7 o'clock Saturday morning, so that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 hours and 30 minutes of the Batman. I know at the front of this video it says 17 hours. It's 17 hours 30 minutes, by the way, to watch all 8 theatrical Batman films back to back. Well, I hope you have enjoyed following me along with this Bat-a-thon. I think personally that one is one of my favourites of the Batman films. I think we saved one of the best ones to last, which I'm happy with. It's a nice emotional climax to the Batman series and to Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy as well. A truly brilliant director. Perfect man to sort of steer us in a new direction for the Caped Crusader over the last 7 years and 3 films. So we started in 1966 with Batman with the Rubber Shark. We've come quite a long way between that time and 2012 with 8 films, mixed greatness in there, some not so great at all. I think we know which ones I'm talking about, which one in particular, but generally it's been I've had a great time, even though I've been here by myself watching these. It's been fun, and I have actually been wearing my Batman t-shirt today. I've been relaxing, sat here watching these films with the Batman logo. You can have a look, actually. I've got it here. The Batman t-shirt. I've been wearing it all day today. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks very much if you've been watching this review of the Batman films. I think I'll give that one a 9 or even possibly a 10 out of 10, I think. Tom Hardy's terrific as Bane, a really menacing villain. And yeah, one of the most menacing in, if not perhaps the most menacing in the Batman saga. Gary Oldman again, terrific. Christian Bale, brilliant as Batman in this last film in particular. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anne Hathaway, Marion Cotillard, Morgan Freeman, they're all here, all give terrific performances. And a nice little cameo from Liam Neeson again in this last one as well. Ties it all together very nicely, I think. The trilogy works brilliantly by itself, but as a whole, as a part of the whole Batman legacy, it's just fulfills everything that a Batman fan could want. Okay, that's it from me. You can find my scores for each of the Batman films individually at the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. Film Fanatic's movie marathons will return. I've just got to try and decide what I'm going to sit through for the second film marathon. But that was the Bat-a-thon. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it makes you want to go and watch all of the Batman films, save perhaps Batman and Robin. Cheers.